He was the only non-African ever to serve in independent Kenya's cabinet. And it wasn't in a ceremonial post, but in the critical Ministry of Agriculture. Bruce Roy McKenzie was born in January 1919 at Richmond, Natal, in South Africa. He was educated at Hilton College and other agricultural colleges in Natal. When the Second World War broke out, McKenzie joined the South African Air Force and was later seconded for services with Britain's Royal Air Force. He saw action in North Africa, Malta, Corsica, Italy, France and Germany, and for his bravery, he was awarded several war service medals, including the coveted Distinguished Service Order and the Distinguished Flying Cross, DFC, with a bar. McKenzie first came to Kenya in 1946 and bought a farm in the Rift Valley, joining a number of South African white farmers who had settled in Kenya after the end of the war. As Kenyan Africans started to agitate for more freedom under British colonial rule, McKenzie would, like others in the white farming community, oppose many reforms that Britain might contemplate in the country's political setup. When the Mau Mau uprising forced the British colonial governor, Sir Evelyn Baring, to declare a state of emergency on October 20, 1952 throughout the colony, McKenzie signed up with the Colonial Police Reserve and helped the government to put down the rebellion. During the state of emergency, all African political activity was banned. African leaders of the country's only countrywide political party, the Kenya African Union (KAU), including the country's future president Mzee Kenyatta, were arrested, jailed or detained. They would not be set free until nearly a decade later. In the meantime, much would change in the country's politics. In particular, Britain would eventually give in to many of the political demands that Africans were making for a greater role in the governance of their country. In 1959, McKenzie was one of the specially elected members voted into office by other LegCo members under a new constitution promulgated by Britain's colonial secretary, Sir Alan Lennox Boyd. In June 1959, McKenzie was appointed Minister for Agriculture, taking over from Sir Michael Blundell. He would be a key minister of the colonial government, even as the political wind of change was blowing Kenya towards African majority rule, albeit in a rather disunited way. When the African nationalist movement split into two major parties, the Kenya National African Union (KANU), which would be led by Kenyatta after the latter was released from detention in 1961, and the Kenya African Democratic Union (KADU), whose leader would be Ronald Ngala, McKenzie joined KADU. But he would be in KADU for only a while. By the time Kenyan leaders met for the second time at Lancaster House in February 1962 in London, under the chairmanship of the new colonial secretary Reginald Maudling, to discuss the constitutional future of their country, McKenzie had switched his allegiance over to KANU. In April 1962, when Kenyatta and Ngala took over the joint leadership of a KANU-KADU pre-independence coalition government, McKenzie was appointed Minister for Settlement, in charge of the transfer of numerous farms in the so-called White Highlands to the Kenya government for settlement of landless Africans. McKenzie so impressed Kenyatta that after KANU won the May 1963 pre-independence general election and Kenyatta became Kenya's first Prime Minister on June 1st, or Madaraka Day 1963, KANU nominated McKenzie a Member of Parliament, the only white person to be so honoured. He would be made Minister for Agriculture and Settlement, with Jackson Angaine as his Parliamentary Secretary or Assistant Minister. At independence on December 12th, McKenzie was appointed Minister for Agriculture and Animal Husbandry in a move that saw Kenyatta hive off the settlement section of his former ministry to create a full ministry under Angaine.